Hey, what's up guys, John here. What's unfolding right now inside of the US economy and labor market is something that every American needs to watch very closely, especially when you consider what Amazon and Google are doing in response to this economy. They're spending $179 billion this year in CapEx, investing in their businesses.
Amazon is planning to spend $100 billion in capital expenditures this year, driven by AI investments. Alphabet's $75 billion.
Some of this money is going towards AI, it's going towards robotics, it's going towards the future economy. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics says that unemployment went from 4.1% to 4%.
Report also showed that the unemployment rate fell slightly down to 4%.
U.S. economy adding 143,000 jobs in January, unemployment ticking down to 4%.
They're saying the economy is booming, consumer is strong, that Americans are holding on to their jobs and everything is good. But when you look at what's really going on, you'll see a whole different type of economy, a whole different type of world that we're walking into. There's rumors that these tariffs are about to take shape. And as these tariffs move in, many speculate that this will get passed on to the consumer.
The American tariffs have been delayed.
Canada has avoided U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs for now, with a 30-day reprieve on the imposition of 25% duties.
When you put a tariff on a product, it is not that the other country gets taxed per se. It's that the cost gets pushed on to the consumer here in the United States. That's how it works.
This cost will then impact inflation. When you look at what's happening with gold and precious metals right now, it's ringing the alarm bells.
Gold prices continued their record run, the precious metal hitting a fresh record.
That big changes are afoot. Now here's what I think is about to happen, and here's how I think we can all get prepared for it and get ready for this, because I think this is going to change everything about the consumer, about the middle class, and about America. Please hit the like button when you do. YouTube will share the content, educate more people about what's really going on in our economy. And today's video is sponsored by my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for Monday. So this is going to be very fascinating. Many people think, and I've heard a lot of big names talking about, no, the tariffs are going to be a great thing. It's going to take jobs, and it's going to create companies, take jobs from other countries, and it's going to create more companies, and it's going to make America great again. And we're going to start to see all these jobs come back. Now, I would love nothing more than the U.S. economy to go back to what it was many decades ago and really bring business and enterprise back to America, to where we're not bringing in so much from other countries. But when you look at what is really going on, the likelihood of that happening seamlessly is something we should all look at. If the everyday American needs to make $30, $35 an hour to survive, and we started bringing back these jobs, could Americans afford to buy these same products with those newfound costs added on? It's a serious question, and I personally believe that we're in an affordability crisis, and I think that every dollar matters. And most Americans would prefer to buy in China. They prefer to buy overseas if they can save money, right? Not many people are sitting in a luxury to where they could afford to buy for more. Now, what I think is going to happen is I think Amazon, and I reported on this about a year ago, they acquired 750,000 robots inside of their facilities. Amazon knows that this affordability crisis is going to favor the companies that can deliver it faster and cheaper. And so this big push for these companies investing heavily into CapEx is for a reason. They want to drive their costs down lower because it increases their competitive moat around their businesses. And companies that are not advancing and moving into AI are going to be at an extreme disadvantage. So when many people talk about this huge push for bringing jobs back to America, just realize that what can be automated will be automated. And I think that we're walking into a completely different type of America. Now, I believe this America is going to present massive opportunities for smart and savvy investors and entrepreneurs that are building businesses around it and planning for this. Now, in 2022, I made this prediction, and I said that I don't think the Fed is going to cut interest rates or interest rates are going to be going down, till 2025, 2026. And I was partly right, partly wrong. They did cut rates, but consumer interest rates have not moved. In fact, credit card interest rates are at all-time highs. Mortgage rates are above 7%. We have not really seen rates going down for consumers on consumer loan products. So I was right on that end, but wrong on the Fed pivot. But Donald Trump said just the other day that, he's okay with keeping interest rates higher, and they're not going to bring down rates, like many were, expecting and speculating. So when you start to look at this, with the inflation data that's going to likely come back in much higher at the next report, I can almost promise you they're not going to cut rates. They're going to keep them much, much higher for much, much longer. And you just start to ask yourself this big question: how are consumers going to hold on? Right? How are consumers going to hold on? And this is what presents the big opportunity for investors. You have millions of Americans in adjustable rate home loans, in HELOC loans, that married the house, dated the rate. So many people need that 25, 50, 75 basis point cut on their debt service. They need it, but they're not going to get it. It doesn't look like it. And it looks like instead what many are going to be getting will be layoffs. They're going to be getting let go from a lot of these companies, a lot of these positions. And you're seeing this not just with big companies, but the federal government. 60,000 jobs, apparently they accepted buyouts. So you're going to start seeing more and more people getting let go. And these companies are going to start cutting costs at a time in which consumers are tapped out. And so what's the big opportunity? It's going to be in affordable housing. It's going to be in affordable products and services. And it's going to be in AI. There's going to be, debt relief business, debt consolidation. All of these businesses are going to be built up, I believe, over what's coming over the next couple of years. That's why I'm here in Cleveland, right? And I'm traveling around. I went around the entire country the last 6 months and went to literally every single real estate market because I see what's happening. Everything is changing, and price matters. What people spend matters, and most people are way over leveraged, and what they're going to have to give up will be a lot of these amenities. They're going to start really cutting costs across the board, and that's what we're walking into. We're not going to walk into, in my belief, some booming economy like we had in 2021 and 2022. I think we're walking into a very problematic situation for the majority and a huge opportunity for the minority, the ones that are really prepared and positioned. Now, again, I've said this many times, you don't need $1 million, but you need stable income. You need some cash in the bank. You need good credit. You need to have a plan. You need to not have high interest rate consumer debt. If you do, it's not too late to get out of it. You have incredible opportunities for balance transfer credit cards, where you can do a balance transfer at 0% APR for 18, 24 months, no interest. So if you have a high interest credit card balance, to transfer it at 0% APR, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than paying 28% or 30% to one of these big corporations. And so you start to look at this whole situation. Everything is pointing towards inflation. Everything is pointing towards this job report getting revised again, like all the countless other ones, right? They present this incredible picture like the economy is doing so well, but the reality, I think most consumers would disagree. Most consumers would think that we're already in a recession. But when you turn on the media, everybody's talking about things are good, things are good, things are good. Not to anyone I talk to. I talk to a lot of everyday people, and a lot of these everyday people are struggling, right? They're really struggling. Even people making $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year are struggling. Now, if these tariffs do go into effect, it's not a political statement. If they do go into effect, it's a tax. It's a tax that's being paid. And this will get passed on to the consumer, either directly through this inflationary cost, or it will be passed on through automation, which will likely be happening as these companies start to automate and streamline their businesses to drop their costs to a price point which consumers can afford. So all of these things are happening so rapidly, so quickly. And I think 2025, 2026, this is going to be the year that completely reshapes America. It's going to reshape the lives of tens of millions of people. We're going to see so many people moving from jobs, so many people moving from their homes into different types of positions, different careers. Everything is about to, I think, shift. But look at this. Look at this backdrop. I've never been to Cleveland, before, this 6-month period, 4-month period when I went before, and now moved here. But a lot of people are going to be doing the same thing, relocating, from LA to Texas, like they did in 2021, except there's going to be an affordability migration pattern, which is what we're going to start to see all across the West the next couple of years. There's just no way that doesn't happen. I was at Home Depot yesterday and I got a deal on flooring. And this deal, I got 3 pallets of flooring, an incredible price. And this lady, she said, I can't believe you got this price. I can't believe it. You better stock up on everything now because everything's going to get a lot more expensive. Everything's going to get a lot more expensive. This is a lady at Home Depot talking about this. This isn't someone that's like scared about anything. She's just an everyday person. Like, you better start stocking up, buying your appliances, buying everything you need now. And she's talking about not a recession, but a depression. That's what she is saying. And so I think a lot of people, everyday Americans are getting ready, and they're normalized into this change that's likely going to be unfolding throughout the economy, and they're bracing for impact. What do you think about this situation? Where do you see all this going? Do you think we're walking into an affordability crisis, which is going to be, I would say, instigated by what's going on with tariffs, what's going on with inflation, what's going on in the labor market? Everything is being flipped on its head right now. And I think it's going to present a massive opportunity. I really think it's going to be the biggest opportunity ever. If you're an entrepreneur or business person that has ambition, you take action, you're going to make a fortune the next couple of years, an absolute fortune. And I don't think you're ever going to get a shot like this again. I really think that the next couple of years, you have these few years to really make all your moves, and you make the right moves, you're going to set yourself up and your family up for decades. But if you don't, I think we're going to see a consolidation of wealth take place and really get pushed into the hands of corporations. Once that happens, it's going to be really hard to get that wealth and get those assets from them. So now's the time. Now's the time to set yourself up, your family up, read, study, learn, maybe get a business partner, hire great talent online, and really build out a business that's going to benefit a lot of people, because a lot of people's spending habits and a lot of people's patterns are going to be changing because of what's unfolding with inflation and everything that's happening now. Let's have a conversation about this below. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, maybe a business loan, a mortgage to acquire distressed properties. I'm buying foreclosures. I'm buying a lot of distressed properties. So are my investors, because we didn't see this 5-6 months ago, but now you're starting to see panic. You're starting to see people not being able to afford things, and I think it's just going to continue. Let's have a conversation below. And if you'd like to fix your credit, late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, foreclosures, we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. You can click the link in the description just below this video. Catch you next video.